My fiancée yelled at me, "You're suffocating. I need space from you and your insecurities." I said, "Good." That night, I packed only my essentials and disappeared without a sound. 3 months later, she tracked me down and showed up outside my new place, holding something that made my heartbeat drop the instant I saw it. I'm Alex, 33, and I was supposed to get married last June. Emphasis on supposed to. My fiancée, Claire, and I had been together for 5 years, engaged for one. We met through mutual friends at a birthday party, hit it off immediately, moved in together after a year. Everything felt right. She was smart, funny, ambitious. I thought we were building something real. The cracks started showing around month 4 of our engagement. Small things at first. She'd get irritated when I asked about her day. She'd roll her eyes when I suggested we spend weekends together. She started going out more with her coworkers, coming home late, always with some explanation that technically made sense but felt off. I'm not proud of it, but I got insecure. Started asking questions. Where were you? Who were you with? When are you coming home? I knew I was being that guy, the clingy one. But something in my gut told me things weren't right. And instead of trusting that instinct, I turned it inward, made it about my own inadequacy. Looking back now, I realize I was trying to fix something that was already broken. I'd suggest date nights. She'd cancel last minute. I'd plan weekend trips. She'd find excuses. I bought her favorite flowers one random Tuesday just because, and she barely looked up from her phone to say thanks. Every attempt I made to connect was met with a wall of indifference that grew thicker each week. The explosion happened on a Wednesday night in March. I'd gotten home from work around 6, made dinner, waited for Claire. She walked in at 10:30 p.m. "Where were you?" She dropped her bag on the counter. "Out with Jenna and some people from work." "You said you'd be home by 8. Plans changed. We went to another bar." "You could have texted." "I'm an adult, Alex. I don't need to check in every 5 minutes." "I'm not asking you to check in every 5 minutes. I'm asking you to communicate when plans change. That's basic respect. Or maybe you're just insecure and need constant validation. That's not fair, isn't it? You've been hovering for months, questioning everything I do. It's exhausting. I question things because you've been distant, because something feels wrong. Nothing's wrong except your paranoia. Then why won't you talk to me? Why do you shut down every time I try to connect?" She laughed, not a real laugh, a bitter, frustrated sound. "Because you're suffocating, Alex. I need space. From you. From your insecurities. From all of this." I stood there feeling like I'd been punched in the chest. The kitchen suddenly felt smaller, the air thicker. I could hear the refrigerator humming, the clock on the wall ticking, every sound amplified in the silence between us. "Okay. Okay? Yeah, okay. You want space? You got it. Don't be dramatic." "I'm not. You said what you needed to say. I heard you." I walked to our bedroom, grabbed a duffel bag from the closet, started packing, clothes, toiletries, laptop, charger, essentials only. My hands were steady even though my mind was racing. Part of me expected her to stop me, to say she didn't mean it, but she just stood in the doorway watching, arms crossed. Claire followed me. "What are you doing?" "Giving you space." "Alex, come on, I didn't mean—" "You meant it, and that's fine. But I'm not staying somewhere, I'm suffocating someone." "You're being ridiculous." "Maybe, but I'd rather be ridiculous somewhere else." I zipped the bag, walked past her, grabbed my keys. She called after me, but I didn't turn around. Got in my car and drove. Didn't know where I was going, just knew I needed distance. Ended up at a motel off the highway, checked in for the night, sat on the bed, and tried to process what just happened. The room smelled like old carpet and cleaning products. The TV didn't work. I didn't care. Just sat there staring at the wall, replaying the conversation in my head. My phone started buzzing. Text from Claire. "Claire. Alex, come home, we need to talk." Claire. "I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that." Claire. "Please, don't do this." I turned off my phone. Update 1. I stayed at that motel for 3 days. Called in sick to work, ordered takeout, barely left the room. Watched the same news cycle repeat itself on the grainy TV I finally got working. Thought about calling Claire. thought about going back, talked myself out of it every time. On day 4, I called my brother in Denver. Hey man, what's up? Can I crash with you for a while? What happened? Claire and I are done. I need to get out of town. Shit. Yeah, of course. How long? I don't know. A few weeks? Maybe longer? Stay as long as you need. I drove to Denver that weekend. 10-hour drive, stopped once for gas and coffee. The interstate stretched out endlessly, giving me too much time to think. I listened to podcasts, then music, then nothing at all. Just the sound of tires on asphalt and my own thoughts. Got to my brother's apartment Saturday night. He had the spare room set up, didn't ask too many questions, just said, beer's in the fridge. We sat on his balcony drinking until midnight, not really talking about Claire, just being there. Sometimes that's enough. Monday morning I started looking for work, applied to a dozen places, heard back from 3 within a week, had an interview, got an offer, accepted. Started 2 weeks later, it was remote work, data analysis, paid well enough. Found a studio apartment near downtown, signed a 6-month lease, moved in with just my duffel bag and a few things I'd ordered online. The apartment was small, but it was mine. No shared closet space, no compromises on furniture, no tension hanging in the air. I bought a coffee maker, a desk, a decent mattress, built a life from scratch in a city where nobody knew my story. I didn't contact Claire, didn't respond to her messages. She texted for the first week, called a few times, then stopped. I figured she got the message. We were done. My brother asked once if I was going to talk to her. I said no. He nodded, didn't push it. That's the thing about good brothers. They know when to leave things alone. Life settled into a rhythm. Work, gym, meal prep, sleep. I wasn't happy, but I wasn't miserable either. Just existing. Figured that was enough for now. I started running in the mornings, something I'd never done before. Found a route along the river, watched the city wake up around me. Started reading again, books I'd been meaning to get to for years. Joined a pickup basketball league on Thursdays. Small things that added up to something resembling a life. Then one Saturday morning in late June, 3 months after I left, I was getting back from a run when I saw someone standing outside my building. Took me a second to register who it was. Claire. She looked different. Thinner. Tired. Dark circles under her eyes, hair pulled back in a messy ponytail. She was wearing jeans and an oversized sweater, despite the summer heat, and she was holding something against her chest. As I got closer, I realized what it was. A pregnancy test. 2 of them, actually. Both positive. My heart stopped. Update 2. Hey, she said quietly. I stared at the tests in her hands. What are you doing here? I needed to see you. How did you even find me? Your brother. I called him last week. He wouldn't tell me at first, but I begged him, Alex. I told him it was important. And he just gave you my address? He made me promise I wouldn't cause drama, that I just talked to you. I looked at the tests again. Are those real? Yes. When? I found out 2 weeks ago. I'm about 10 weeks along. I did the math. 10 weeks. That put conception around mid-April, a month after I left. So it's not mine. She flinched. What? I left in March. You're 10 weeks pregnant. That's April. We haven't seen each other since I left. Alex, Who is he? It's not like that. Then what is it like, Claire? Because from where I'm standing, you got pregnant a month after telling me I was suffocating you. So who is he? She started crying. His name's David. He works with me. It was a mistake. A mistake? We went out after work one night. I was upset about you leaving. We drank too much. It just happened. Once? She didn't answer. Claire, how many times? Does it matter? Yeah, it does. A few. Maybe 6 or 7 times. Jesus Christ. I know it was wrong, but I was hurt and confused and what? I left so you decided to sleep with someone else? Multiple times? It wasn't like that. Then explain it to me. Make it make sense. She couldn't. Just stood there crying, holding those tests like they were proof of something other than betrayal. A woman walking by with a stroller glanced at us, then quickly looked away. We were becoming a scene. Why are you here? I asked. Because you deserve to know. Know what? That you moved on in a month? That you're having someone else's baby? What am I supposed to do with that information? I don't know. I couldn't not tell you. Where's David? We're not together. Does he know? Yes. And he wants nothing to do with it. Told me to handle it myself. Handle it. His words. I laughed. Couldn't help it. The whole situation was so absurd it felt like a bad movie. The kind where you yell at the screen because the characters keep making terrible decisions. So you came here because the guy who got you pregnant bailed, and you thought what? That I'd step in, be the backup plan? No, that's not why. Then why, Claire? Why show up here with positive pregnancy tests 3 months after I left? Because I needed you to know the truth. Because I owe you that. You don't owe me anything. You made your choices. Now you get to live with them. Alex, please. What do you want from me? I don't know. Forgiveness? Understanding? I can't give you either of those right now. Then what can you give me? Space, which is what you asked for in the first place. She stared at me, tears streaming down her face, mascara running in black streaks down her cheeks. I'm sorry. For everything. For how I treated you. For pushing you away. For David. For all of it. Okay. That's it? Just okay? What else do you want me to say? That you still care. That this matters to you. It matters, but not in the way you want it to. She wiped her face with her sleeve. I should go. Yeah. She started walking toward her car, then stopped, turned back to face me. For what it's worth, you weren't suffocating me. I was suffocating myself. With guilt, with secrets, with everything I was doing behind your back. And I blamed you for it because that was easier than admitting I was the problem. When did it start? What? David, when did it start? She looked at the ground. January. 2 months before our fight. 2 months of her cheating while I thought I was going crazy. 2 months of me questioning my own sanity, my own worth, while she was building a secret life. Get out of here, Claire. She nodded and left. I watched her car pull away, then went inside and sat on my couch for an hour, staring at nothing. Update 3. I called my brother that night. You gave her my address. She said it was important. She's pregnant, with someone else's baby. Silence on the other end. I could hear him breathing, processing. Shit, man, I'm sorry, I didn't know. She's been cheating since January. The whole time I thought I was being paranoid and insecure, she was actually sleeping with someone else. That's fucked up. Yeah. What are you going to do? Nothing. It's not my problem. You okay? I will be. We talked for another hour. He felt guilty about giving Claire the address. I told him it was fine. Better to know the truth than spend the rest of my life wondering. He offered to come visit, bring beer and distraction. I told him maybe next month. The next few weeks were weird. I kept expecting to feel something. Anger, sadness, betrayal. But mostly I just felt numb. Like I'd already grieved the relationship back in March, and this was just confirmation. The wound had already healed. This was just removing the bandage. I threw myself into work, picked up extra projects, stayed busy. My boss noticed the increased output and mentioned a possible promotion. Small victories. Claire texted a week later. Claire, I'm keeping it. Just thought you should know. Me, okay. Claire, I'm sorry again. For everything. I didn't respond. Turned off my phone and went for a run. 10 miles this time. Pushed myself until my legs burned and my lungs screamed. Physical pain I could understand. Physical pain made sense. A month later, she texted again. Claire, David changed his mind. We're going to try to make it work. For the baby. Me, good luck. Claire, do you hate me? I stared at that question for a long time. Did I hate her? No. Hate requires energy, investment, care. I felt none of those things. Me, no, I just don't think about you anymore. She didn't text after that. Final update. It's been 7 months since Claire showed up with those pregnancy tests. Life's pretty good now. I got promoted at work, moved into a bigger apartment with actual furniture, started dating someone new. Her name's Maya. She's a teacher, kind, doesn't play games. We met at a coffee shop, started talking about books, exchanged numbers. Been seeing each other for 3 months. It's easy, uncomplicated, exactly what I needed. Maya knows about Claire. I told her on our third date because I didn't want any secrets between us. She listened without judgment, said everyone has a past. What matters is who you are now. That's when I knew she was different. My brother asks sometimes if I have regrets about how things ended with Claire. I tell him no. She wanted space. I gave it to her. Permanently. Everything that happened after was just confirmation that leaving was the right choice. I don't know what happened with her and David. Don't care to find out. That's their life now. Their mess. I've got my own life to focus on. My own future to build with someone who actually wants to be part of it. The thing about being called suffocating is that it makes you question everything. Your instincts, your worth, your reality. But here's what I learned. I wasn't suffocating her. I was asking for basic honesty and respect. She couldn't give me that because she was too busy lying. And when someone's drowning in their own deception, anyone asking questions feels like an anchor. I'm not an anchor. I'm not insecure. I'm not paranoid. I was just with someone who needed me to believe I was all those things so she could justify her choices. She needed me to be the villain in her story so she could play the victim. Walking away that night in March was the best decision I ever made. Not because it felt good, it didn't, but because it freed me from a relationship built on lies disguised as love. It gave me the chance to rebuild myself without someone telling me I was too much or not enough. Claire can have her space. I'll take my peace.